Now in this video, or based on the last video, you have seen how I have configured FileBeat and that sending of events to Elasticsearch. I have repeated the same steps for all of my 6 API gateways. And now let me check in Elasticsearch how the data is received. At the moment, it's not very clear if really all data is processed and everything is coming in, but you see that, for instance, the traffic summary is receiving data, is receiving requests, and so that means the storage size is increasing and so on, as you can expect. So, and maybe let's execute that, fire up some sample requests on the API gateways to see that data is flying in. So I go into a mock service and I say there is a script which calls constantly sample APIs. And let's do that for all 3 gateways. Okay. And go into here as well. And over here. CD mock. Next time I should copy the full qualified path. So, and now we can have a look on that dashboard, which is part of the package we have imported into API Manager. And this package is supposed to be changed over time to support more visualizations, to have different views. It's some kind of the initial thing. So let's say we would like to see the data from the last 15 minutes, because this is now the data which is really flying in. So that means it's obviously working. And I can even see now at here, but very likely it's not working. Yeah, it's coming, that I can now have my gateways configured to be in different regions. So let's say in APAC, in the United States, and then I have maybe different gateways in the European region and in the gateways. And with that, I can drill down into the data. You already see, let's say, some kind of transaction history, how many transactions have passed, how many have failed, and so on. And let me refresh the data, and more data is coming in, and also what kind of top 20 API requests and so on. So, and let's have a look for the gateway monitor, for the API Gateway Traffic Manager. What I have done already is that I followed the steps to configure my API management. So that means I have changed the node manager configuration in Policy Studio. I have imported that XML package. Please make sure that you use that package or that file from the release and not from the GitHub directly, because you may have differences, for instance, in the certificate that is required to talk to the API builder process and so on. So that means take it from the release package. Then I have updated the node manager policy in order to use the Elasticsearch API or Elasticsearch data, which is exposed by API Builder instead of the internal one. The recommendation is for that filter to turn off failure, because by nature it will fail. Sometimes, or let's say for all API calls executed by the traffic monitor, which are still supposed to be executed by the internal service, it goes to failure path. And if you don't want to flood your admin node manager trace file, turn that in the audit logging for that filter off. So, and now let's have a look how that looks like, because now the traffic monitor can use the Elasticsearch data, and we open that. It's not all of the API calls are already handled by that, and we can validate if it is really working by going on the Logstash machine, where also the API builder process is running. And here I can say Docker logs. Okay, that are all of the lookups. And let's wait until the end. And if you see requests coming in when you are using the API Gateway Manager, then the data you see in the traffic monitor is coming from Elasticsearch. So that takes a while because it is located in the United States, and we have now 6 API gateways up and running. And you see the data, which is now constantly sent by that script I have started, is filling the database. So far, no request. That's normal because at the moment, only API calls in that area are currently handled by the traffic monitor. Let me also reduce that one because that only leads to the fact that I have to transfer a lot of data into Europe. And let's say I would like to see the data from the last 30 minutes. And now you see that requests are coming in. That means that whenever I do a request, the data is not coming from the internal database anymore. It's coming from Elasticsearch. And that's why it's very fast. And even if you have millions of transactions in your database. And of course, you can also now really look for the specified time interval. You can go back in time. This data, just for information, is coming from one specific index, which is obviously managed, and at a certain point it will be removed, it will be recycled. It's coming from the so-called from the summary index. So that means this traffic summary index is configured at the moment to be there for 30 days, and then it will be recycled into a new one. And depending on the amount of disk space you would like to give to your Elasticsearch cluster, then you can go back in time more longer. So that's all for that Kibana dashboard overview for the first view. That's all for the gateway traffic monitor. And in the next video, I will explain how you can use the restricted traffic monitor.